Winter Park student Will Larkins says Florida bill is made to kill queer kids. Queer News Tonight has previously reported on the We Say Gay walkout at a high school in Winter Park. One of the organizers, Will Larkins, recently appeared on the Cheddar to discuss their recent op-ed in the New York Times. In the article, he wrote, quote, "We have a mental health crisis in the queer community, and Governor DeSantis and the Republican Party want to outlaw the solution," end quote. Watch this.
I've heard different members of the legislature say something along the lines of parents know what's best for their kids. When it comes to the queer community, that is not true.
And welcome back to Between Bells, everyone. I'm Baker Machado, speaking there to Florida's Senate Appropriations Committee, and in an opinion piece over in the New York Times entitled "Florida's Don't Say Gay Bill Will Hurt Teens Like Me." Our next guest and many others within the LGBTQ community and allies desperate for Governor Ron DeSantis just to see reason here. The Parental Rights in Education bill will ban public schools in Florida from teaching about sexual orientation or gender identity from kindergarten through 3rd grade or through 12th grade. That in a matter deemed age appropriate by parents. This bill, no doubt, could have deadly consequences if it's enacted. So joining us now to discuss is Will Larkins, president and co-founder of Winter Park High School's Queer Student Union, and also one of the organizers of its Say Gay Anyway walkout. Will, such a pleasure to have you here. I loved your op-ed that you wrote in the New York Times, and I want to read a piece of it for our viewers. You say, "I have come to realize that those who have been so openly hateful towards me often know very little about the queer community. They thought being LGBTQ was a conscious choice. Education didn't give me a sense or self-worth, but also the knowledge of a community and lifeline there for countless young people," which you're so spot on. You're so correct there.
Wow. That is a lot. Will is very well spoken, though, and just definitely just goes and speaks the truth, because in the end, I understand it's the parents who are trying to raise their children in the best way possible, but who is telling them what is age appropriate? It's what they're deeming age appropriate, and not by the standpoints of psychological analysis and the psychiatry behind it. Is that if we raise more open-minded children, they're going to be more responsible and better well-spoken, and they're going to be more mature and handle things better in the future. So you raise smart children, you're going to raise smart adults.
Evan, but you just hit on the nail on the head, why the Republicans don't want them to be any of those things. Exactly. Smart, responsible, well-informed.
Hate stems from ignorance.
Yeah. And that's really the heart of the issue. I'm curious, being a 15-year-old high school student, where do you think all of this is going to go? So Don't Say Gay is getting ready to become the law of the land. DeSantis is going to sign it. It's going to have all kinds of legal challenges, but the legal footing is murky at best. So we can't pray for the courts to step in.
Right.
What do you think is going to happen next? What do you see from your seat?
Because they never established a clear-cut bill, it's all you jumble it up. So it's like, okay, you can't say gay, but this kid is talking about their straight parents, so can we sue them? It's all very murky waters, and I personally do not know where it's going to go, but I'm fearing it's going, especially in the route where if we're implementing it in schools, are we going to have to get rid of GSAs and the gender and sexuality alliances? Because my school doesn't have one to begin with, but I do have an openly gay teacher at my school who's supportive of all that and brings in these kids.
I'm also curious, your high school is?
Northeast High.
In Fort Lauderdale. Oakland Park. Okay. The gayest place on planet Earth, by the way. Wilton Manors, Oakland Park, Fort Lauderdale. I'm curious in terms of what has gone on in high schools like yours and other high schools here in Broward County. From what you hear, or friends that you might be involved with in social media. The reaction of the non-LGBTQ students in high schools, what has their reaction been on what they've watched over the last 2 months?
Most of them don't even know about it. So I'm part of a debate class, and there are 2 queer students, and there are about 15 of us or so in the group, and only 2 of us, including me, knew about it. So it's just these kids, how are they going to have an opinion on something when they don't even know what's going on? Because right now they're focusing on this being very much a queer issue.
Does that mean, right, and I want to follow up on that, does that mean non-LGBTQ high school students you don't think are following this story very closely?
No, they're not at all. We still have, I don't know how they're going to implement this when we still have kids walking around the halls calling each other fags.
There, at Jewish Community Services, we have a program where therapists actually go out into the schools.
Oh, wow.
And one of the schools reached out to the therapist that goes to the school and said, we can't have you come back here. We're afraid that we're going to get sued. So the implications of this go far beyond
The bill's
what
not even
people
signed yet, and the
think.
chill effect is already starting to
Yeah.
happen. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire